this is exactly what we need. This is exactly what is missing, what has been missing. This is the void that we needed to be filled. They didn't say it that way, but I'm summarizing exactly what they're saying. I mean, what they told us. And so the point I was making is, all over the country now we see democracy reigning, freedom of expression, freedom of movement. Regardless of what part of the country you are, you can move about, you associate with what political party you want to associate with. Nobody is coerced to bring anybody onto their side. The only way you can do, like we were doing at the Federation of Road Transport Union program, which was massively attended, by the way. I was surprised. We are going there thinking that this is going to be a couple of people, but it was such a large program. So when we spoke, initially wanted to stick to just the normal formalities and talking about leadership and the connection between roads and the economy, and how important the role the Federation of Road Transport Union is, how important it is for those people who are road users to be active in the economy. All of those stuff we're talking about. But then, very quickly we realized that it was also an opportunity. It was also a political atmosphere. The atmosphere was charged. And so we used the opportunity to talk some politics. We're selling our candidates. Other people were. So I'm just saying that it was. Some other people smiled. Other people weren't so happy that we sold our candidate. But at the end of the day, it was just a free exchange of opinions and views, and that's how far Liberia has come. It's been many years since the end of the Civil War. We're marking 20 years. Some other people have radically transformed their lives. Yeah, people have changed. At this point, they would have had a new set of families, family members, that is, and move on. They probably don't want to be reminded. Some other people have rebuilt their lives. Maybe they lost a home, but they've managed to build a new home. Some other people have even completed colleges and got master's degrees and what have you, and move on with their lives. So there's been all kinds of different transition ever since the end of the conflict. So in all that we do, we should make sure never ever in this country to ever go back again to fighting. That should be a no-no. And there are some triggers, so that is why the respect for the Farmington River Declaration is absolutely important. It is extremely, extremely, extremely important that we respect the Farmington, because these are some of the nuggets that it espouses. Some of those, major points in that agreement would be just controlling things like incendiary language. You don't have to come outside and start to rile up the population, tell them things that for sure down your hearts of heart that it's not true, it's not happening, but you're doing it to just bolster your specific political camp. But irrespective of what the consequence might be, and all of those kinds of things. So we need to really watch what we say, what we do during these campaigns, as we mark 18. Okay, it was August 18th. As we mark 20 years of uninterrupted peace in our country. I'd just like to welcome my colleague, Daniel Nooks Thomas, as he walked in, and let him weigh in on this. Daniel, good morning.
Good morning, BOAKAI. Good morning to the people of Liberia. Especially good morning to the hardworking staff of the Liberia Broadcasting System, and not forgetting my own guy from the Ministry of Information, Jamel Cooley. So it's nice being here again this morning. It's a sign of good health and appreciation to God Almighty for the life He's given us. So as we go forward to these elections, it is obvious that the peace and security of our country is pivotal, and we shall continue to do all we can to ensure that Liberia is peaceful. So I'll just settle in a little bit, and then
okay.
I should go on.
Yeah, so a lot has changed. Welcome, Daniel. A lot has changed, and so today we are on our third major. No, this should be the fourth major elections. We are approaching the fourth major election, because 2005 was the first, 2011 was the second, 2017 was the third, 2020. in their numbers to just see the new leader and then hear what he's going to say. And then he started to talk about peace and democracy. And we've had that ever since, he became president. So we are marking 20 years, 2 decades, 2 decades of peace since the end of the Civil War. Liberia has moved from being one of the weakest links in the sub-region to becoming a bastion of democracy. Around the different West African countries, we're beginning to see some semblance of military overthrow and all of those stuff. We're seeing that our institutions beginning to build, whether it is the full-fledged state, whether it is the rule of law. We're expanding our court system. It's all over the country. Now we're building new courts. Whether we're reinforcing democratic policing. You see the police officers, many protesters, people who go out to protest, who will go out to express their disagreement about certain issues and all of that. Daniel.
Thank you, BOAKAI. And again, I want to say good morning. So first of all, even before this leader became president of Liberia, President Weah has always preached the message of peace. I remembered when he was playing in Europe, even during the time he became world best, he organized a group of international footballers, and they made a special song for Liberia that promoted peace. All right, and he was also the UNICEF children's ambassador. That he was tasked specifically to work along with the international community to bring peace in Liberia. All right, and when he was put on the political pedestal for the first time, 2005, we saw the essence of the elections, the results that came up, and the dissatisfaction that was being expressed by the partisans of the president at the point in time. Yeah. And he also examined people their rights. Although where one man's rights stop, another begins, but let us focus on the fact that peace is all we need, is the ultimate goal. Let me take the shots because I'm a leader. All right, in the end, this is where we are. We're going to elections now, BOAKAI.
I know, and we've moved quite a lot beyond some of the points. Sorry, I'm multitasking right now. So I'm looking at several things, but let me get to. I mean, let's move on from the peace thing to the, as much as that is very much important, to other conversations. So the campaign has been in full swing. boy, oh boy, the president has been pulling such massive number of people in the streets of Monrovia, whenever he goes around. And this is becoming to be psychologically draining to some of our opposition friends, because it's one thing to lie, it's another thing to believe your own lie. Like they're passing around with they put numbers and this and that they have. So there is this set of committee that the guys have. They form amongst themselves. Say, what happened? One of the way we can create a psychological battle during this political time is to just have a committee. Anytime they're operating, polling, just tell us. We'll call that. So they call it different. You believe that any election in the country, somebody can win 80%?
It's not possible.
Or 75%? Do you believe that?
No.
So it tells you that is fake. It's orchestrated. It's carefully choreographed. Or probably the host isn't aware. But I know these are the lines are just open up, and then people just bombarding because that's their dedicated task. That's what they're dedicated to during this time. They sit in the corner and just do that. But guess what? Whenever these stations just do a snap pool when they go out in the streets of Monrovia, the president's whipping them. The actual pool that talks to real people, not through telephone, that goes out in the streets to talk to people. That's where the president's whipping these people. But I just want to talk about how these different campaign events have been quite worrying to our friends in the opposition. So the president goes to one district, people come out in the numbers. He goes to another district. Even his convoy passing by the marketplace. I think it was Douala Market on yesterday. He must have been going to District 3, and the people came out in such large numbers that some are trying to ignore, but they're not ignoring it. Look, listen to the crowd. Yeah? This is the Douala Market. People were just you should see this video. It's not quite effective when you just play the sound, but if you see the video, it will be really moving to you. So the people had lined up on both sides of the road in the Douala Market. That place can be really jam-packed, right? So the people lined up on both sides of the roads, the different routes in Douala, and just cheering the president. The women came out laying their wrappers in the streets, like the Bible story of who was that? That the lady, the Bible story. We're gonna make
it depends which segment of the Bible you're talking about.
Anyway, but I was really moved by that picture on yesterday. So everywhere the president has gone, he's just been. There's been all people coming out to just greet him, tell him thank you for the things he's doing, whether it is building new market stalls or building new market structures, taking our mothers from the street and putting them into better structures so that the rain wouldn't beat them, or providing opportunities for them so that they can send their kids to better school system, or pay lesser money for these different institutions that they will attend. For instance, we're beginning to see some dividends from these different results. The investment that we've made into education, for instance, we're beginning to see the dividends from those. Like I was talking about just before Daniel walked in, I was telling you about the fact that there's been years of investment. We talked about with the government is building this school, the government is training new teachers, the government putting new teachers on payroll, and these are things people can say, okay, yeah, you're making the education system free at the tertiary level, but no, you're not improving on quality. Well, the results is what show quality.
Yep.
The latest West African secondary school exams. That the kids can take at the
WASC.
The WASC exam.
Yes.
And this is something that kids across West Africa take. It's not like WAG. WAG is specific, I think, to Liberia. That is what the 9th graders take. But the 12th graders, the WASC exam, early indications are that this year's exam we've had one of the best results this education, but I just want to talk about
Yeah,
some of the
on Monday.
snippets on Monday. Some of the snippets of things we're beginning to hear. For instance, we're beginning to hear that in mathematics, for instance, something that Liberian students would traditionally say is high, that we're beginning to have high marks. Students have really, really high marks. In geography, these are tough courses. Geography is not a fun course.
No.
Those kinds of STEM courses, So it shows that the years of investment that the president has been making, those investments beginning to have some dividends. We've sent teachers overseas to train. We've increased the environment that they're learning. We've improved the environment that they're learning in. We've paid extra for study class for WIAC, so the parents don't have to pay. In addition to paying the WIAC fee, by the way, we've incentivized teachers. We provided books. I even understand that we got 1 million textbooks.
1.5 million.
1.5 million textbooks in town.
Yeah.
The government brought that in town together. So these are the kind of investment we're making in education, for instance. These are things that the Unity Party government under Joseph BOAKAI said that the system was so messy that they became exasperated.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do. Well, we know what to do, and we're beginning to make the change.
Yeah, the first thing is, BOAKAI, I like the way you started this. They said the education system in this country was very messy. Okay, so let's look at the migrational development in terms of the promotion of new quality, education across our educational space. So the first thing the government of Liberia did, this administration, they had a revisitation of our high school curricula. Okay, and with some international partners like Breach, there was a new development in our sector. Now, most public and private schools in Liberia, like when I was going to school in the 80s, I still remember, we used to go to laboratories and all that kind of stuff. All right, that was when I started to use the magnifying glass and with the aluminum foil and then cooking the cassava just by pointing to the sun and all of that. So, other schools in West Africa already had that foundation. When we changed from WIAC to WASC, they've been arguing that our education system, we have not done much in this environment. But when we changed from WIAC to WASC, the first year, we saw that there was some underperformance by our students. The Ministry of Education moved to have this free tutorial across the length and breadth of Liberia. What happened in the second year? The second year, the number of progress coming out of the different schools had improved significantly.
Yeah.
Fast forward, under the Ministry of Education, they have quality control. Okay, what comes in is being assessed before it goes out, meaning before it is consumed by the student body. So to say that this government has done nothing in the areas of education, especially the different kinds of education, look at ECD as an example. The ECD is a foundational basis of any country's intellectual future. All right, BOAKAI? If the government made it a priority to institute additional ECDs facilities or curriculums across the country that now speaks to the developmental aspect of early childhood education. Is that not development?
Yeah, that is.
Okay, fine. So you should also look at the priorities. This is the first time in the history of this country where teachers were appreciated by the Ministry of Education. This is what we call recognition of sacrifices and appraisal. You saw that the best teacher, the best teacher of the year. Okay, even when we had the COVID-19, the Ministry of Education had the school by radio program. Okay, BOAKAI?
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, this government has done exceedingly well in the areas of education. I just want to highlight just 1 minute before I get.
No, go ahead.
The mind game that is currently ongoing in these elections are as a result of our brothers in the opposition inability to explain to the Liberian people what they have done that should be able to outsmart this president so that he cannot be re-elected. So what they do, they spend a lot of money in trash cars and make some special arrangement. People they populate the airwaves. But you saw Douala, according to you saw the mothers, you saw the Yana boys, you saw the students, you saw those people out in the normal, the community folks. What were they doing? They were jubilating. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Charles Taylor when he was leaving for the first time from Guerrilla Liberia to come to Monrovia.
Yeah, I remember that.
My man from Brown County all the way to Monrovia, people ply the streets.
You know, 95.
Okay, so Liberians are not joking with the essence of re-electing President John Mahama. If these guys think we play my game, now yeah, right. If these guys look at it, just look at the mammoth crowd over the BOAKAI. So they also want to tell.
That is on TV.
Yes.
Okay. And it's on LMTV.
So those of you who follow us, you can watch it on LMTV what we're talking about, and you see for yourself. If somebody who an opinion pool by 80% and you see the living crowd of people out there, it means that they are joking. So at the end of the day, the BOAKAI, the people are re-electing president. I was on radio DCM, Renaissance. I was very shocked. Mothers in the market were appreciating the work of the president. When I made mention of the hospital has been built there, you know the guy in the said, he said, yeah. He said, in fact, Minister, this is one of the great developments the president is doing here in USS to ease the health challenges of our people by providing them access to healthcare services. And you sit down in your place of comfort and you hallucinate that this president is unpopular amongst the Liberian people. You gotta be joking about that. You gotta be joking.
Well, so the president is going to be out there today in District 15. I understand. That's the district of Abu Kamara.
Yeah.
And then following that, he's going to go to District 13. You know, throughout, so the president would have crisscrossed Monrovia in a space of just apparently less than 10 days, right?
Yep.
And then move to Western Liberia.
Look at it.
So the president is going to be in Western Liberia beginning the 21st. He's going to begin in Bami County. So there's going to be a visitation of Bami for a couple of days, visit the different districts, and then move on to Cape Mount, Bapolu, you know, all the different. Then we'll come back, Monrovia, go to Magibi, and then we'll come back now for the massive launch of the campaign, the massive launch of the campaign that's going to be happening at the Anthony Totman Stadium on September 7th. That's going to be the launch of. These are just meet and greet events the president is having. So the massive launch of the campaign is going to be on September 7th, and following that, the president is going to go to other parts of the of the country. You know, I was in Ganta, Nimba County on yesterday, and
I want to ask you how was the reception there?
Oh, the reception was great. You know, firstly, I saw some first-time voters right outside Jackie's. The night we arrived, I think they must have gotten. They must have received some official from Monrovia. Oh, it was partying all night.
Wow.
Yeah, from 12. Some official from the CDC. They received, because by the time we came outside, the official had left. But they really partied. First time photos came out, and then the following day, yesterday night, it was a parade. They were parading Nimba County. We went on a few radio stations, and at one of those radio stations, but early in the morning, we're on Hard FM Nimba. Bangura and Wilfred Bangura, the erudite colleague of mine, very passionate. But also, we went to Radio Kegema. When we went to Radio Kegema, we talk over the airwaves so much that when we were coming outside, we had a group of young people gather. And they came to talk to us, and they were saying, people that they think you're supposed to be doing every day. Man, you really shook the town the morning. I think you're supposed to be doing. You say the men of them say that the senator then won't support the country. That the senator say they be lying to all.
Yeah.
But you clarify the thing of the money. But the thing is, we need to sustain
these arguments.
Narrative. In that place. Yes. But I think Nimba County
will respond
well. Despite all of the things you've heard about that. And if the president is getting that level of support from Nimba County, despite the fact that the self-proclaimed godfather of the county has declared that he's not going to support him, and then another person who claims to have weighed so much support in Nimba, Jeremiah Kuhn, is on the ticket of the opposition Unity Party, and the president is garnering so much support amongst young people. That much it shows that with a lot. We're a little bit nudging. We could pull the strings. So pull it off.
Let me give you a biblical context of what you're going to see in these elections. So when David was king of Israel, there was a time several kings gathered to fight against Israel. It was a period where David thought he couldn't make it. he cried out to God. The numbers of the different kings' army was so huge, BOAKAI, to the extent that the people of Israel panicked. You know what God said to him? Say, do not panic or despair, for I am with you. Lead your men to war, you will win. And you know what happened? David did win. Why am I giving this analogy? Simple. This is the time where Liberians are going to see the emergence of all, according to them, powerful oppositions under one umbrella, and we are with them.
No. I don't think the opposition is going to come under any umbrella. I think.
I mean, like now, I'm talking about the current party ticket that believes that they are the alternative.
You know why I believe so?
Key.
Let me show you. Let me listen to something.
Oh, my man.
Musa Belite was on last evening, and listen to him. He's talking to Dylan.
And all these people, I'm going to block you, I'm going to block all of you. The nonsense talking about my post. You know, I'm going to block all of you. I'm going to block everyone on you.
Black Nation.
And I do that because you're stupid.
No, I got to put that on the radio. He's going back.
Yeah, so
no, I mean he was talking about he's giving early indications that the CPP not going to support the Unity Party in the event of a second round.
But but for me, I knew that it's not possible. But let me be fair with you. The first thing is the Unity Party has made other parties under the CPP at a point in time to look like they were nothing. They stir a confusion that they could not fix. Okay, yeah. But so you see, like I was saying, it is the obvious confusion in the camp that was necessary.
You will never have the opportunity to celebrate that place. CBB, tomorrow, we name our campaign, so you people are very stupid. At the end of the day, you get up, you talk nonsense, and then you come on the post and talk rubbish.
Is that a filter one?
Yeah. You lose.
Yeah.
You lose the million that you pay. I promise you, you pay. The reason why you pay me is you told me that your intention is to teach me lesson. Because you say, took your packet from you. And then you will be the CPP. You will pray God to send a text to me. You know, how about the test? You and your owners will regret that thing. You will never celebrate that thing. You will never have the opportunity to celebrate that thing. CBB, tomorrow, our campaign, we'll be at our party and we'll always celebrate. And one will be our campaign team. We'll be out there. Things where, we don't follow the way, so, but we are sustainable. We are deliberate. We make play and execute. We have a bunch of dedicated people, committed people, and we're going to campaign for the next 53 days. And we'll demand that you put bars back to your home, put the bar in the house. It will not well. Because at the end of the day, you don't bother to be president or you're not fit to be president. To be fit to be president,
you gotta be outside.
Or not that big. But infection. Remember?
Yep.
All the people who want to be president for this country, you will go to the people. You will walk the street of the country. You will go to the mall. You will drive up and down and tell the people, they want for you. You sitting down there every day and say, well,
Actually, I'm looking for the place where he did mention, he was talking about the possibility of a second round. He said in the second round, it's either going to be the CPP versus the CDC, the UP versus the CDC and what have you. But he ruled out the possibility that the CPP ever going to support the Unity Party. Why? He said because recently there were a couple of officials that resigned from the CPP in Nimba County, right? My own friend Paul Wawe also resigned. I think there was another Wazong or something that resigned from the CPP in Nimba County, which was quite hurtful politically for the CPP because in the midst of on the heels of such crucial election and having some of your candidates, your supporters resign from your party, it shows a lot of things. It tells your opponents a lot of things. They can use it against you, and so the law, according to Ability, sent him a text message saying that he was responsible for that. So he is saying that in retaliation, he's basically ruled. He said, while they're talking about this, then they can be talking about opposition unity. So he's saying he's ruling out any possibility that if the Unity Party were to go to the second round, that the CPP will support them. He said the CPP will not support them because what they're involved with, according to Ability, is undermining the CPP. So they're undermining the fellow opposition political party. So that's the point I wanted to counteract when you're talking about opposition. The possibility of any opposition, unity, all of those different stuff. Look, these elections are going to go to the second round. We will whip them on the first ballot. We're going to whip them on the first ballot.
What are they campaigning? What are they campaigning?
We will campaign massively. We already know that we're in the lead. We already know that we're in the lead by a massive number. The president has been doing quite well for the Liberian people. He's an incumbent president now. He has a number of factors, a number of advantages. But it's not just the incumbency advantages. It's what he's doing for the people that matter. That's why the people are cheering him. That it's not every incumbent president that put in jail. So the incumbent president said to go near the people, said because they will boo you. So this other incumbent president is cheered by the Liberian people, and that's why he's going to be campaigning on his record. And we're very certain that this election is not going to go to second round. There's not going to be a waste of that resources. But the opposition folks have already started. What they're clamoring about is not that they're going to overtake the CDC. Their new clamor is who's going to contest with the CDC, who's going to be in second spot. That's what they're saying. Is CPP saying we are in second spot. The party say no, not you. We in second spot. In fact, it's a 2-horse race. We're not counting the CPP. You heard what I'm saying now?
Of course.
It's a 2-horse race.
Of course.
I tell you, there's no 2-horse race. There's one horse, there's one sheep, and maybe they can argue about the other people. So that one horse in a race, the other one you can argue what kind of animal they are. But this election, we're going to win it on the first ballot. And we're going to be out there today campaigning. We're going to be in District 15 supporting Abu Kamara. And Abu Kamara is one of the most dedicated partisans of the CDC. I mean, you see him, you go to his district, he's so in touch with his people. He regularly organizes campaign events, he walks the street. If you go to, go to District 15. Have you ever been to Banner FM? I mean, going to Banner FM and see, just ask, some places, some district you go to after the Lord Maker, nobody know him. Go to District 15 after Abu Kamara. For free produce, I tell you, go so, you bend so, he living so, everybody will be telling you where he living. Because, that's how in touch with the people he is. So I expect a massive turnout today in District 15, and I expect no less in District 13, Daniel.
So thank you. It's obvious that the president is the people's man. If as a leader, if you have the commonness, of the ordinary people that you're leading, where they wake up in the morning, they see themselves in you, you have nothing to be afraid of. You have nothing to worry about. If you also deliver or make frantic efforts to deliver the mandates that they've given you, you got nothing to worry about. Okay? If you recognize their challenges and work towards mitigating these challenges, you got nothing to worry about. Okay? If you are accessible to your people and they too are accessible to you,
you got nothing to worry about.
You got nothing to worry about. What you have to worry about is the people who, in fact, what they have to worry about is what they have done that has brought the people to them. Somebody posted a video yesterday in Lofa, United Party since I could only see maybe like 50%. And I was like, a whole Lofa county? Really?
I still won't get this thing from Billy.
Really?
You know, I want to hear a record.
So the one thing you pay for it. You pay for it, and United Party will regret allowing you to be used like this to say things. You're talking about yourself. If you become a emotional team, you begin to walk in a simple sense. It's like the Senate mayor of New York and the governor of New York. In so many senses, the Senate mayor of New York is even more powerful than the governor of New York. So you are more powerful than even a national campaign. And you go out and spew rubbish. You go out and say things that are not true. You make statements that democratize opposition unity. You tell me in a text message to me that you are the one behind that's happening in the CPP. But let me tell you, this campaign. And the others can excuse me for this, but this is how I see it. It's either going to be United Party versus CPP in the second round, or United Party versus CDC in the second round, or CDC versus CPP in the second round. That, there will be no moment the United Party, if it is proven to be what you are saying, is why there will be no moment that you need the party will benefit from any relationship from the CPP. Now, you officially make clear that your sole objective is to develop the CPP. When you pay for this statement,
So he's made it clear. So if they go to the second round, there's going to be no movement that United Party will benefit from any relationship with the CPP. If assuming that there is a second round.
I like the way you put it.
Let's open the lines. Call us on 080-514-096, 080-514-096. We're going to call the deputy campaign chairperson for mobilization at some point during the conversation. But let's open the lines. That's Musa Kone. 080-514-096 or 086-561-537. 086-561-537 or 080-514-096. Let's talk to our first caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Albert Bowman from calling from Toronto.
Albert, go ahead.
Morning, Albert.
Yes. Yes, I called to make my input.
Yeah, you're on the radio. Go ahead.
Discussion.
You're on the radio. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and the video that you saw about the president is nice that we were on the way to this retreat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check
So
it out.
that's for the clarity.
Yes.
And also about the statement of Moab in the West on the Monday.
Go ahead,
You
Jenny.
listen, you're on the radio. Go ahead.
Yeah. The statement of Moab in the Monday about the president taking push. Granted, the president take push.
Oh no, we're not going to. No, we're not going to.
We're not going to dignify
We're not going to
that.
dignify that. I didn't.
We're not going to dignify that disrespect from Moali. We're not going to do that.
I didn't even monitor. Did he say that? I was on in time.
I think it was the stop during Kanye. It's just a disrespect.
Wow. Did he say that?
Good morning, caller. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
Mr. BOAKAI, FOFANA Minister.
Good
Baba. Calling you from local candidate to be president for district number 2 this morning.
Okay. Go ahead.
morning, bro.
Okay, are you getting me?
Yeah, clear, bro. Clear. Go ahead.
Okay, this morning, let me appreciate the minister with the team. That
Okay.
we trying to plan to talk with the about the to see how best we can be part of it. Because like the candidates are being clear
The opposition, they ban living on traditional recording and other things. But this is the President William said, no. The one you do, the one will speak for you.
That will speak for you.
See, after that, we believe that the election only one time.
One time. One round.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, yeah, you see, I like the way we got caller there.
Let us talk to more callers. 08005140909.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
Yeah, as what I'm saying, he said the president do the ball. He people pay every night.
My man, don't do that to us on the radio. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
This is Thomas Ndima, and I call you from District 4, most of the county.
Yeah, Thomas, go ahead.
Yes, supporter of the Unity Party.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's hear you.
We are not worried of what Bility is saying. Bility, who has tinted record already, we are not worried of that. Unity Party is going to be in the lead.
Okay.
Yeah, Unity Party is going to be in the lead. We don't worry about Bility that gets tinted
In the
record.
league or working?
In the league of football game?
In the lead or leading the presidency.
Yeah, yo, we on the first ballot. Y'all not need support.
When on the first ballot, when on the second ballot, we're going to be the winner. The skill is just from drowning.
Okay.
Because it's really drowning.
We hear you. Okay. Thank you.
We hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, here, BC.
Yeah, where are you calling from?
This is Julius Everly Alasjo. We are picking a call from Banga City, Bon County.
Morning, Julius.
Yeah, if the opposition are saying that Bility has tinted record, then we also say that Prince Johnson has tinted record too. Joel is going to beat them one round. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julius. Thank you.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, BC.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
Thank you very much. I'm Mr. Sonek Asabis calling from Banga.
Okay, Senegal, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you both very much. Because, like what somebody said, what you do is what somebody talk about. Not what is hidden. They will come and try to make it vivid so that they can say this is it.
Mm-hmm.
But ERBC, we who the fans of ERBC, my point, let us fight. ERBC will not go up because when it goes up, we can be frustrated.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Papa.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Emmanuel G. Woodruff. to join you from the Bryanfield, Johnsonville, Lower Johnsonville. Also, County Division number 2.
Let's hear you, man.
Okay, let's get you.
We agreed. The real lesson, President, we agree. We agree is the organization, a physician that left on the 11th because we took them and leading our group, and we are back in making sure that we can go back to our party. No one left home, but I think we need a contact person where we'll be seen because we want to play our card. Thank you very much for the show.
You're most welcome, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to having you guys back.
Thank you very much for the show.
Good morning.
Good morning, BOAKAI. Good morning, your colleague is still there.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
This is Edmund Carr. We don't have a say for the re-election of President Weah.
Edmond, go ahead.
You know, ability re-making my spirit this morning when he said, you're putting offer.
And that is a fine. You're putting me offer.
Oh yeah, but they said the election, nobody gonna fill out the hall and think and campaign. They will see you walking the street, you enter the mud.
Yeah. You know, the offer, whether you're asleep, not going to the mosque, no cross, no monkey preachers, or John Owen as the president is jumping. Then we know now that you will win 80%. Hey, this guy has lived in a state of denial for the past 5 years and a half.
Yeah.
How will you have an opinion for somebody winning 80%
Yeah.
when the person hasn't started any campaign activity in the country? You see how these guys are living? You see how these guys are living in the state of denial? How will you continue to lay your supporter up the person you are still doing it? What is going on? We now have less than 13 days to September. Okay? By the 8th of October, campaign should be closed. You are not out. But yet you are winning. Our opinion full.
Yeah. The magic. You win by the body speaker. A miracle.
Yeah. Okay. we think our supporters are teaming up to support our president, and we are saying do that on the ballot on October. When you go take your own term, you mark the ballot. If you can't write with pen, make sure you use it in file.
Oh yeah, in fact, that's something that our campaign manager has been emphasizing. Don't get there on the election, you boo-hoo, you boss people about.
Yeah,
Mark,
if you do that, that's an invalid ballot.
Invalid ballot.
Invalid, yeah. Don't step what I say, I hate you. When you write that on here, that means that is an invalid ballot. Let us do it professionally and make sure that our president win this thing on first round. So that money that we will use for second round, we will use it to contribute our development. In fact, as we be aware, we are 100% funding the election.
Yeah.
So we will not be struggling again looking for another money to go for second round. So let's just keep those people in their house at their sitting in their houses, waiting to win election by way of market. So we are not waiting for them. We are moving and we are with our president. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's talk to more callers. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, FOFANA.
Now, Baba again. Fofoya.
How are you?
Oh no, a different person. Yeah. How are you? How you doing?
I'm fine. Okay.
Okay.
The name where you calling from, yeah?
Oh, you calling from SC Kubaro?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. After TBNS, I think another place. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The watch of you before.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think for the topic money. There's no money people to election. I'm going to do election for money. So it was when they power to do what is going to.
You're coming in broken, but I think we get the message that you know.
Yeah, cool.
The networking was part back.
Okay, let's talk to Ishaka Sherry, Assistant Minister of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Ishaka, good morning.
Good morning, Minister FOFANA. Good morning to Daniel. How are you?
Morning, Ishaka.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the educational level of our callers. Not like before, this election, our callers our voters are very educated. The last 2-3 callers, I've listened to them. I'm very much impressed about the civic education they have had over time.
Yeah.
But there is something that a lot of people are not taking cue of, if you look at the former vice president, if you look at who all have been rolling his campaign in terms of finances, those are people who have been, indicted for criminality, for example. Stanton Witherspoon, this guy has been BOAKAI from the
onset
from 2020 senatorial by-election. Not by-election, but midterm election. Even as far as taking care of the old man, funding food for him, buying him all sorts of things. And again, if you look at the Prince Justice, the role he's playing, I think is worrisome for the country. And looking at the level of education of our voters, I think they're going to do better. Our voters are going to do better. People are not stupid. They know what they're doing, and they know the direction of their support. And I think that's why George Weah is winning. And we just continue to pound high, in order to get his thing in the first round. But I'm very much impressed about the education level of our scholars. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Rosetta Songale. I call from Maria resident.
Rosetta Songale?
Yes.
Go ahead, Rosetta.
I listen to you. I don't know when you look at the opinion poll our conservative, I listen to the past affair of the former the party when he told the people that they will win the Micat at 80%. Are you kidding me? What have you done with him, And then, let me go on the president what? Are you kidding me? What you have done over the years in Micat?
And you from Nima?
Are you kidding me?
Nima?
Yeah, from Kale, from Nima, yeah.
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 So why are he did, I think, and he opened put out for about his food level that he carried. It still have the president. So thank you for the show this morning and thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you.
Rule number 18 is this free. I don't go no for
18 all the way.
You are first time voter? She off. Let's talk to this other caller. Yeah. Good morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, this line is bad.
So, Papa,
Yeah.
the MNO needs to do some work in the principle with regards to this, especially Lone Star. The network is so bad. When you
What do they call MNO?
mobile network operators, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So, like the MTN, they need to do a lot of work in that area because the networks, people calling from those parts, you can hear that lines cutting it.
Okay.
It's becoming very, very terrible. There has to be a result to this. Do we have another caller?
Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Yeah. Your name, where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Andy. I call from Christmas Superstore, the supermarket in Riyadh.
Let's hear you, Andy. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah. The issue about President Weah or re-election is not something to worry about because President Weah is far ahead of Joseph BOAKAI. Because 20 feet I postpone my work and I've been going all over the president campaign, all this stuff.
You postpone your work.
Yeah, postpone my work. Because I know President Weah re-election is very
Important to you. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, very important to me because
Okay.
once you have the president that people love, peace will be in the country and my work will continue.
Yep. And that is yeah.
The people I work with, they know that support President Weah.
Okay.
They so I took my leave for 3 weeks to support the president, to be in the campaign team.
Where do you work? No, okay, you don't have to stay where you work. Sorry. Anyway, you don't even have to stay.
You rehab, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
I would like to see how people can get to you.
So
Because, yeah.
as a relational aspect of rehab with regards to the people between Joseph BOAKAI and the president there.
Mr. Thomas, we kind of rehab, It is real la period now. I can see that President we are winning this election.
I think I know the voice though.
Yeah, we have to provide me.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. I think I'm ready. I'm not sure what I'm talking about now. Yeah, each time I go there, the people will help you. You tell them back, say, you do a good job. Yeah, you do a good job. You tell my cat and take it around the supermarket. But yeah.
I will put like my barrel and my share in the supermarket. Yeah, my share and my barrel in the supermarket. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
The private area about my barrel, my share in the supermarket.
All right. You should text me your number later. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Let's move on. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning. Let me say thank you to you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Okay, firstly, my name is Alvin Che. I'm calling from Sultan Democrat to be precise.
Okay, Alvin,
Yes,
let's hear you.
straight to the issue. When you look at the past election 2017, the margin was 37% in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Our president is Excellency Dr. George Okonjo-Iweala, the good Segusi Tatamana. He won 14 counties. The Joseph Nima Baga was opposition. We don't call opposition. I call a former winning party who's corner. They said that Joseph Nima Baga, who they said they will win, the Joseph Nima Baga won one county. Just do that analysis. 2017 election president, we are winning one margin, 14-1. Then come October, which is 2023.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of magic they're going to play?
Exactly.
The men wanted 14-1, and after the men didn't do anything, they don't come to the president.
You were in opposition. They were the incumbent. They were the incumbent.
He wanted 41.
Yeah.
Then now, what a man is in power, the men have done a lot of work. We are stable electricity. They now building roads. Developments are taking place at the highest level. Then you come and you say you're defeated. What kind of margin? 21 margin, 2017. The margin of so what kind of margin can any president we have to 70% he will not say win.
Thank you. Let's talk to this caller. We'll take two more and then move back to our conversation. Good morning.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, good morning, sir.
Your name, where are you calling from?
This is the moment I'm calling from Ravia. Mr. Fofana, thank you very much for putting me on too. To be sincere with you, you can even see the lying interest in posting that picture on the billboard. They take 2005 picture and they put it 2000 on the team.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I know that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Listen to me. If you say that the court, you can be found guilty because that is public
Deception.
You have no detection there. You don't do that. You can go to the city, they take it to the other people and put it to the city. What do you want to show? You know, for sure. Don't forget about CID, Magic country,
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk to more callers. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fofana.
Yeah, your name or where you calling from?
Mr. Fofana, this is my Richard Doe, the secretary for Chicken Soup Factory.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mr. Fofana, I'm going to tell you my story. You see, Mr. Fofana, those people, they are confused. They think the people depending on hijack the system.
They can't do that one.
They can't do it.
You what? Then you say you know better say. Think you're happy. People are thinking about that. You get an election center, then you wanted to vote for you. How do you get happy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused. That's why I'm confused. The fuck? That's why you're not BOAKAI. That's why no, you can't even go on the phone. You can't go on the ring. How you get volunteer a country?
We know.
The phone will be so you can't get the phone. Well, ring for you can't get out of the ring. What is the be called? No ring, no phone because you don't need that kind of password.
This election is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I like the way Liberians are all out.
Yeah,
and expressing
this election is going to be.
It's very important. It shows the level, like Ishaga said, of civil education in those areas. People now know. Like one point she stressed. You got somebody on the
No, go ahead.
Like one point she stressed. What have you done?
Yeah.
Before you want the people to vote for you.
Yeah, exactly. No, you know what are you doing that you think that you're going to
be? It is tangible against imagination. That's what I see.
Let's talk to the CDC Vice Chair for Mobilization, Musa Kone. Musa has been all out there in the field, mobilizing ahead of the president's visit. Are you in District 15 already?
In District 13 this morning.
Morning, Musa.
Then I will proceed to District 15, but we have a team working already in District 15. And today, our first stop of our activities will start with District number 15.
Okay.
And also meeting point for District 15 rally will be at the Looking Town Cinema for the meet and greet. The traditional people welcome the president, and then we will proceed or walk or march through Looking Down Broad Street to a field called Jacket Field, where the official program will be held, and then we move on to District 13. The president will be received at the Double Bridge. I'm sure that is the Double Bridge, the Jimmy Carroll Bridge.
Yeah.
And then we'll walk to and go to the Patriot football field where the rally for District 13 will be. And then we conclude the Maserati tour on tomorrow in District 17. And the president's first stop in District 17 will be the Simple Bridge, where they will welcome him, giving a cola nod by the traditional people.
Oh, wow.
And then we'll to the Banjo Market and back on the Mill Road, straight to Pool River. But before Pool River, there will be one or two other stops here to the Iron Gate for another meet and greet, the BOA Junction, and then President go to Whole River, interact with the people there, and then we come to Central Broadway, where the main rally will be held, and then we climax, and then we focus our attention to the Western region.
Yeah, but tell us about. I don't obviously expect you to disclose a lot of strategy. You're not going to be done with Monrovia, right? The president's going to be moving with his meet and greet, but obviously there's going to be a lot of different activities happening in Monrovia.
Well, so we have the Exonerate, the Women's League, the Youth League, different government officials, different party leaders are already in different communities, in different districts of Mosorado. So Mosorado will never be a vulnerable place. Mosorado.
Oh man, how can you need all the good and you call all good news?
But I just said it Exonerate. So
we are intellectual movement.
Intellectual is supposed to be one of the Exonerate.
Yeah.
So they will be, and as a matter of fact, we are intellectual have been doing very well, and we need that in the campaign.
Yeah.
That you guys will go to different communities, and I've been following you guys. I want to say thank you, not because you brought it up, but you guys been doing well. I know you were in Nimba, and I know you will be in Basso, you will be in different countries. So as the president moves, there are people that will be behind doing different sort of, engagement with people in different communities and different districts. So yeah, so far so good. I think that game is playing very well for us.
Right.
And I said, after Mosorado tomorrow, the next attention for the next 10 days, even though the president will be in the Western region for 6 days, but the mobilization team and different auxiliaries will be there for 10 days because they have to be ahead before the president comes.
Yes.
And then after the Western region, we come back and start with Magibi, Brembasso moving forward. We'll come back to Monrovia again or Mosorado, have the campaign launch, and then continue our activity in Nimba in the southeast. And then the county tour will actually end with Lofa County in these campaign processes also.
Tell us about the level of, how the president. We all know that he's a former athlete, still an athlete, by the way. But many people have doubted his ability, his will, his physical and mental fortitude to continue this trail because it's been said that he's going to visit all 73 electoral districts. How does he look? When he goes to these different districts, does he look tired sometimes?
No, but I'm not sure. He said many person.
Some people.
Okay, some people. Good, thank you.
Yeah,
but BOAKAI, the president look very fit, and you see when we talk about people being fit and people think we try to mock other people, you have to be physically, mentally fit to become a leader.
Yeah.
You have to. That's one of the requirements to become a leader. So the president looks very happy. He's very upbeat. He's willing at all times to be to every, like you said, to every meeting point, every rally. He's prepared, and even us. So even this morning, the president is ready. I mean, like I've been receiving calls. When are we starting? The president is ready. So he's in very high spirit, and you can't doubt the energy level of the president, BOAKAI. You can't argue.
Well, what do you make of the CPP chairman Musa Belete saying that without voting anybody who will sit in the hall, the election, you got to get us out. You got to get.
You got to walk in the mud.
You have to get out. What people can be talking for you. You have to talk for yourself. You have to tell the people what you want to do. And it can't be one radio. You just go sit on the one radio station and do it. You must be visible. You should be in the eyes of the people, the ears of the people everywhere. So to become a president, your health is very important. You have to be very healthy, strong, to campaign for yourself. Now people
it's been almost 2 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks since the start of campaign. We haven't seen the Unity Party standard bearer out. What does that say to you?
Well, for me, that's a very big manus. Even though there were so many manuses, but this one is another very big one. And we can also campaign on the fact that the former vice president is not fit, and having him as president, God forbid, with me, you are electing Prince Johnson. That is the fact. And you know our relationship with America, and you know the relationship with Prince Johnson in America is not something for me to say to you.
Yeah.
So nobody should ever think that you can make BOAKAI president, if God forbid you are thinking that way, you are actually indirectly trying to elect Senator Prince Johnson, and you know how that would be very, very dangerous for Liberia. So for me, I don't think Liberians should take that route. We have President George who is doing so much so well. He must continue doing what he's doing. Somebody told me in Kidman the other day, they said, oh God, we get current. Since I was born, I'm almost 60 years old. I didn't see current except when I went to Morovia today. In fact, right now in Kidman, the current stay free. They are enjoying.
Oh, there was a first-time voter who told me that. She said that's one of the reasons. Firstly, she said, I just love the president. I just love the way that he can get in the ring and go meet people. But another thing she said was, she said, you know how long since I was born, see current here? Current in my heart now. I mean, that was because I just sought to ask them, because they were so passionate dancing in the ring. I said, why are you supporting the president? And then she went on explaining. Firstly, she said he's young. She said he's loyal to his supporters.
Which is true.
I said, what do you mean he's loyal to his supporters? He said, look at the make get in the ring, they're going to be his supporters. You know,
don't overlook that. The president is on the green, not the umbrella. He's on the green in the moment to the area that some of these people will never go on the area. I saw somebody speaking it. That's what he relate to the people very well. Did you see? I mean, one thing that caught my attention, BOAKAI, the president's ability to think in his vernacular, relate to it. In
Yukutown, that song.
I was thrilled about that. So this is the way we are talking about. And look, if you can't connect to your people, how can you lead them?
Let me tell you another thing again. There was another guy who spoke. He didn't speak to me. He spoke to my colleague. He said, but man, when I listen to the president, oh man. But I told him, Musa will listen. He said, but man, when I listen to the president talking, you know, the president when in Yukutan, before he mounted the stage, when he mounted the stage, before he started talking, he said,
Yeah.
You know, he said that.
I heard it.
One guy there in the crowd, the man said, Musa called you back. The man said that the only thing I'm moving.
I listened to that.
He said the president called Og, he said the president record na me, Magbana Pikin. He said the president record.
I think he did in District 4.
Before he did it? Okay, District 4, okay, yeah.
You said?
No, Daniel saying in which district he did it. I mean, I was just talking about the president reference to Gbana Pikin. You know, there was another guy who was speaking to a friend of mine, said that's the only thing that moved him. You know, he's an inner city young person, you know, he moves about the city or whatever. He said he felt like he was part of the occasion.
Yeah.
He felt like he could have been president when the president said Magbana Pikin. He said that what I'm moving.
So, I just want to appreciate each and every one of you. More than definitely government officials who are making it very, very, much important for the re-election of President we have. But I would just want to say to you, when the president is moving, you have to be in another community. If you don't have much to do with the campaign, I think being in our different communities, different zones, and different cells, encouraging people. We should not run a campaign where when the president moves, then everybody moves. And this is not only to government officials, but even to our coordinators and different cells of our party, exonerating different communities in different districts. I think it's very much important that we stay engaging, continuously engage our people, and let the campaign team do the moving around. You stay in your community and mobilize. I mean, in as much as we are the favorite, but we have to campaign as if to say we are the underdog. And the way we can do that is to stay focused, to stay in our community. When we go into bombing, we go into Kidman, we go into West in general, there are people that we have to interact with, and people in Moserado should stay in Moserado and campaign. Campaign is not going to end when the president is out of Moserado. Campaign should continue until October.
Totally agree.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Well, that's Musa. I think he went off the line.
Totally
but he's right. There's been some calls. I mean, there's been varying opinions about that. Some other people say that considering the president stature and level and some of the trappings of the presidency, it's almost next to difficult to have him move there, without having the presidential entourage and what have you. But I get the point he's making about some officials, some other officials need to stay in their respective areas. Especially if you have not much to do with the campaign. and all of that. But I was just talking about the relatable nature of the president. So he goes in one community, he sings, he dances with the people in his cool vernacular. He goes in another community, he uses a lingo that relatable to ordinary people. He speaks in the jargon. He uses their jargon and stuff like that. These are things that some of our folks, the elite class, kind of overlook. They don't make. They some of the times we think, oh, the man no bow and this and that. Well, the man is relating to people. You are not. You are not relating to those people in the ways that he's relating to them. The man is very smart. He knows exactly who he's talking to. Those are his supporters. He's talking to a group of people, the quote unquote intelligentsia and blah blah. They are very few. He's talking to his people, and they relate to him like that. He's talking to the market women, the Yana boys, the sons of market women, the first-time voters. Why do you think the first-time voters have taken over this so much?
So the first thing is, like you said, we should. Some of us who don't have major, engagements with regards to the campaign activities at that level. Sorry, I'm usually home in my district. I live in District 4, organizing our people, trying to get the presidents, billboard, posters, everything everywhere, and talking to first-time voters and what have you. So when the president went on the Baptist field, District 4 BOAKAI, the first thing I did was I interviewed a few of the first-time voters.
Oh wow!
I interviewed a few of the first-time voters. What is that?
Wow. Wow. Go ahead.
I interviewed a few of the first-time voters live on my page, live. And you know what? You know what they said? I talked to the first lady. She said, the first thing is, this is my first time that's going to be voting, and I'm going to vote for the president because he did not only pay my YF fees, but he's so available to us.
Yeah.
He's so available to us that one president that you can see easily, and he's reachable, and even his officials, they are very friendly, ordinary people.
They are regular people.
Yes.
Some of the times you pass them by, you wouldn't even know. But let's talk to Bility. Bility is the district number 6 coordinator. Bility, just call your full name.
This is Amanda Bility, district 6 coordinator, CDC.
Okay. Go ahead.
So again, let me say thank you for all of the energy and the zest you bring to this discourse. BOAKAI, I'm saying this to you. When His Excellency was at Complex, that word he used, Banamene, I have some kids, I'm telling you, first-time voter. We're talking around almost 500 to 600. The only thing those guys took from the whole program that the president could relate to them.
Yeah, he called it Banamene.
Banamene. I'm saying this to you. Since 1847, where I live, nobody has experienced electricity unless under His Excellency.
Wow.
Since 1847, the kids have never had an opportunity that they will sit for wives, and their parents will not endure the hardship. I almost never graduated from Hewu, the class of 98, for $620 Nigerian dollar. I'm saying the message is resonating.
Yeah.
And district number 6, last election we won Joseph BOAKAI 115 polling places out of 116.
In District 6?
Something wrong? Yes.
Oh, in District 6, really?
Yes.
But then again, say District 6, you're the president district.
So that is a myth. That is a myth.
Okay.
All right? Even the room that Joseph BOAKAI voted at Maguire, we won him. They only won one center at Kennedy High School.
Oh, wow.
In the entire district number 6. So what we are saying is that we are upbeat. As we speak, we have dispatched our team. This morning they are going to go from house to house, from door to door. The message is simple. And some of the arguments are being cut off. When they have argument, the guys come and say, listen to me. Stay right there and you conduct an election. And the argument is cut off. What we are saying is
right there.
right there, what it is. It is not an argument. So we are prepared. We are going to make sure the SMSA win this election on the first ballot. like you said, His Excellency will work in each and every community. And let me get you this information. The entire Islamic community in District Number 6, they are prepared to endorse His Excellency. We had 11 months. We met with all of the imams. They have said the president has done well. They see him as the leader. They have been praying for him. They will continue to pray. We had an engagement, and they are willing to meet with the president and endorse him openly.
Oh, wow.
So we are saying what we are doing, we are not coercing people, but people are responding to what the president has done in their life and the life of their family and their children.
True.
So today, like Musa said, let us stay in the district, let us stay in the various communities, and make sure the cells are established. We are not going to disclose what we'll be doing here, but I'm telling you, on the day of election, before the results are out, we'll tell you how many we'll have in District Number 6, and if you match that against next result, you will be surprised.
Wow.
That's very good.
Wow, this is Amadou Belete. Amadou is thanks, Amadou. Amadou is a coordinator of District 6 CDC. Amadou seems to be a really hardworking person. I met him some time ago, and we clicked ever since. Yeah, but I was surprised that he's saying that we. That the CDC won District 6. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's
115 polling places out of 116.
Yeah.
So that means they only won one, according to him, the Kennedy that school polling place.
Yeah.
So you see now he's giving us an idea within the District 6 that because all in all we because of the nature of people in District 6, one would think that it's difficult for us in that area, but this is something that we need to watch out more for. So it means the other districts are going to do the same.
Let's talk to Justice Clark. Justice is the spokesperson of the CDC in Grandida. Justice is a journalist. Justice, good morning.
Good morning, Minister, and good morning to your colleague. I really appreciate the show this morning.
Morning, Justice.
Hey, Justice.
And it's a pleasure.
Go ahead, Justice.
You could see from all indications, all of the callers who are weighing in on the show, they are a clear representation of the general feeling, across the country.
Yep.
The fact that President Weah has demonstrated overwhelmingly, he's even going around communities, counties, to sort of relate to his people and, those who may not be in the know of certain development initiatives he has taken. Just to tell him that this is what I've done, because you got to blow your own horn. Nobody is going to do that. You don't do that for yourself. I want to discuss your efforts. So it's important that the president goes around, and I'm very, very optimistic that the reception in the Southeast, including Grandida County, will be as well.
I want to ask about how's the reception in Grandida?
Well, Grandida, like I always tell people, and a lot of people know it like that, you cannot separate President George Weah and Grandida. They are inseparable. Yeah, there may be, few opposition figures in the county, but you may be surprised that those who are in opposition, you will see a big number of such people have come over to CDC because they are saying for the fact that since 1847 this country was established, you realize that President Weah has used 6 years to touch almost every aspect of this country in terms of development impact.
Yep.
So the people of Grandida are resolved. There's a few more relaxed with the president than any other person. They feel that the president owes it to them as their son. And they're not, they're not bothered about the little gossips around that President Weah has President Weah can never abandon Grandida, and Grandidans know that. I just returned to the county a few days ago, and you will realize that the momentum in the county is very high, thanks to the CDC structure that is there, thanks to the GDF for Weah, thanks to the superintendent, thanks to all those, even the candidates who are running on the party ticket. Now that we have this campaign structure in place, we are only going there to buttress the work that has already been done. And I can promise you, as a minister, as the president goes to the county on the 19th, and he's going to be there up to the 20th, as I saw the you will receive the highest welcome so far. As I said before, Grandida and Georgia are one.
Okay, somebody was telling me yesterday that, thank you, Justice. Somebody was telling me yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, we're going to be campaigning. He said, what are you campaigning for? You're wasting time. I said, no, we're not taking anything for granted. He said, no, it's a wrap. And there's an independent person, so there's a person who is very independent in their opinion and normally expresses independent views.
Well, that was a good question.
Yeah, it's where you're doing all kind of campaign for. I think we need it.
That's a good
But
question.
we're not going to be complacent. We're going to campaign like
we've always done.
Let's talk to a resident of District 2. The president was in District 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
And one of the prominent citizens of District 2 is Assistant Minister Jura Sano. Jura Sano lives there. Jura, good morning.
Good morning, BOAKAI, and good morning to the rest of the team.
How was District 2 visit yesterday by the president?
It was grand. It was huge. It was massive.
Okay.
I purposely called this morning. Our people made us proud yesterday. They
Okay.
sent out your expectation.
Wow.
Our message is resonating. Our door-to-door, house-to-house, people-to-people campaign we are doing, the message is resonating. I repeat. This is why yesterday our elders, the young ones, religious leaders from both Islam and Christianity, they all came outside yesterday in response to our call to tell President Weah, to tell BP, tell her that their regime is the best so far and they must be re-elected. And we can tell you this, District 2 has over 61,000 registered voters. Our target is between 40 to 45 to give to President Weah and his running mate, Madam Taylor, this election. District 2...
Yeah, there's a 2. Go ahead. That point you're making. That's what I wanted to ask about.
Paul has always voted for UP.
Yes.
But we want to change the paradigm. We want to change the narrative. Because the people have realized that George Weah
The 2 that they played against called that Jacob Town, the Black
Yeah,
General.
the Bragina, the Chikota, the Nizo, the Francis, the Double Breeze, the Man Barkley, the Joseph, it's a very big district.
Okay.
I think it is the larger populated district in Monserrado. Next to Equilibrium, this is 17.
Yeah.
But the work we have done, recruitment and mobilization we have done, we have talked to our people, they are listening to us, and they promise that this time around, for George, we are keeping the peace. For George, we are considering us, the minority, the Muslims, and the Madingo in particular. I'm not being traumatic.
Yeah.
I'm being very cool and realistic here.
Yeah, because they make up the predominant demographic in that particular area,
Our
right?
demographic here, I'm done speaking on.
Yeah.
We are highly represented. We are highly respected. This is why you saw our mothers. This is why our people are homogeneous people. You don't say this and do the other thing around.
Now, one of my men told me, one of my men.
Yeah, we say we are with you. If our people are not with you, they will not attend your program.
Yes.
If they are with you, they will attend your program and they will do exactly what they will tell you.
Yeah.
So we are very happy this morning that District 2 delivered yesterday. And what happened yesterday, it will be manifested into a vote on October 10, 2023.
Inshallah.
This is my message to my people. We are happy, we are proud, and we will continue the engagement until October 10. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Minister.
All around people that don't be, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you. A friend of mine was telling me, say, one of the people you can campaign to, it is a politician. One of the people you can campaign to, when they tell you, yes, and they know that, he said that the Muslim people, when they tell you, they're for you, they're for you. When they're not for you, they will not have it.
Yeah. They will not go nowhere near you.
Yeah. So let's talk to more callers. But I wanted to talk about something quite insane that happened during the course of the week.
Okay.
So we've talked about this reckless behavior on the part of one of the lawmakers for quite a while now, but it seems as if he took it up the notch a little bit during the course of the week. And I'm talking about Representative Yeke Koluba. So Yeke Koluba went in a terror insulting. That's not news to anybody anymore, because apparently the people in the district 10 like it, because otherwise they will vote him out this October. because this man has done nothing for the district. All he does is insult. He parades the district with gangs of young people, intimidating people, insulting other people. In other district, the political are beating him, they're beating Palava Hut. You don't hear none of that. They advocate. How can you be cursing the people that's able to provide you the resources? He's able to go to the Ministry of Finance, for instance, lobbying for his people in District 10. To fix the different
the district development fund.
They use the district development funds to fix some of the things that are broken in the district. But all he does is just insult. But he manifested that in a wild kind of way during the course of the week, and everybody said that now I think he's crossed the line, making some wild claims, but also he did threaten the president of the Republic of Liberia. I thought he can, I know that he can follow through on those threats, but nonetheless, it is irresponsible, if not illegal. I need to check the laws of Liberia specifically, but in other jurisdiction, that would be a felony. By threatening the president of the Republic of Liberia, which is punishable by jail terms. Yeah, so in the States, for instance, the democracy that we model ourselves after, I was just doing some Google search and it showed up. That's why in the States, you've had some other people go to jail. In fact, recently there was a guy who threatened the president. The FBI never took it lightly. They went after him, especially when Joe Biden was visiting that part of town. They went after him, and then the slightest sign he showed that he had a weapon, he was shot and killed.
Yeah,
because they don't take those things lightly. So this is, a shadow of a lawmaker who is out there pretending to be, acting in the guise of using free speech when he's doing things that are absolutely illegal. Because some of the comments border on a threat to the peace of the country.
Yep.
We can say he's sick, maybe, but those are things that will be evaluated by a court of competent jurisdiction. We know that, some of those violent outbursts, the mood swings, one moment you're happy, one moment you support this person, the next moment you're done, you insult and all of that. But, those are tendencies that are manifested by people with psychological disorder. So we can tell that but those are things that need to be evaluated by a court of competent jurisdiction. I thought he crossed the line. I think the people of District 10 now need to stand up and tell this man, this is not what we want in a lawmaker. This is not the kind of representation we want in the national legislature. We want somebody that could, but District number 6 is a big, vast district. Look at, how do they call the district behind the ministerial complex? This place behind the ministerial complex. Peace Island, for instance. The people there are grappling for different kinds of things. The government had to take road there. The president walked in that district. I doubt Yeke goes down there.
Even had to take electricity there.
Yeah, president took electricity there, took the road project there directly to the people, went and met them recently. Had a conversation with them. They told him their needs and all of that. I doubt Yeke does that. Listen, all the talk he does, Yeke is a coward. The last time I remember when the president and vice president decided they were going to visit District 9 and 10, this dude came out, he looks for the news. He wanted some sort of altercation so that he can make the news. He came out on that very day and said he's campaigning. Passing around, just before the president visited, passing around the place. So, there were some concerns earlier during the day, say maybe there's going to be some altercation and what have you. But guess what? The two most powerful people in the country were visiting our district at the same time. You think they were going to let Yeke, some minion
for what?
Of a Yeke to come and battle that? By the time the EPS came in their full regalia and full strength, he was nowhere around. So most of the comments he makes are just cats, claims and trying to reassure his base and the posture in front of people who are listening and what have you. Because at the end of the day, he's going to run. So he ran away, was nowhere around. The president campaign left the place 2 days before he came out and making threats again. It's like this child who. Or like the puppy, when the big dogs are around, they run away, and then when the big dogs leave, then they come outside and say, yeah, where were you? I was here. And it's right. So that's something similar he's doing. But I think he's a coward. I think, some of the comments he's making are very, very, I know that they're very irresponsible and they border on the security of the state. I think law enforcement need to check him out.
So, thank you. The first thing I'll say is that if I want to look at in the last 100 years, I think Yeke Koluba is one of the most fortunate elected lawmaker because he comes with nothing to the House of Representatives, absolutely nothing. I lived in the district before. I live a place called Defo, 12 Johnsonville.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've lived there.
Okay, good. We lived there, BOAKAI. There was a time he went down to that very district, to that very part of the district, and he was talking again irresponsibly about the president. And you know what happened? Most of the people just left. They just left. only a few persons who were cheering on, I mean, were there. But the honest truth is, the people of District 10 need to look at what impact this lawmaker is making in their district as compared to the continuous insults. And the good thing about the president is that the president can give that kind of irresponsible comments or threats any attention, because, like you said, he's looking to make the news. We're not going to give him that. You cannot compare himself even in the next 50 to 100 years with the presidency. It's not possible. Okay, where President Weah came from, President Weah helped win this some people like him. Okay, the president helped win this some people of folks like him.
Yeah, but
I agree. He's forgetting. No, BOAKAI, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
President Weah should be his mentor by now. Okay, had that man that left his comfort zone to come down here to get the very guns off their hands, will he be a lawmaker here today? So you run around paramulating the public space, insulting the president, and disrespecting the president.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
That's irresponsible.
Let's move on to something. Just before we close up, there's something that was circulating in the news. Some of the guys from the some we move on the I just wanted to reference that and then move on.
Yeah, but we'll talk
to a lot of development news. So Liberia has been generating so much electricity lately. You know that the president made a bold and audacious move sometime in 2021 when he decided that no more are we going to experience the kind of outages that Liberia experienced during one of the dry seasons. He made a decision to set aside about 65 million US dollars to get electricity from the Ivory Coast, right? And CLSG line.
Yeah,
so we're connected to that. This is one president that makes these kind of big decisions, and people will question them, and then we sustain them. The WIAC thing, the building of the Roberts International Airport rule. So these big investments in electricity, energy sector, for instance, has been, they have been the reason we're expanding electricity, and now we have more people on the power on having electricity now on the grid than ever before in our country's history. We have barely over 35,000 people, households with electricity during the quote unquote normal days. Now we got more than 100,000 to 200,000 people. We're expanding it, and most of the expansion happening under President George M. Weah. So since we got connected to the CLSG line recently during one of the campaign trails. Minister Twe, who has the energy sector, by statutory responsibility, was talking about how LEC is transporting. Now we're beginning to transport, to give out, to sell electricity to some other places. Because we're expanding it here now, we're beginning to sell electricity. Some of the excess we get, we're beginning to sell it out of the country. And then people were ridiculing him and said a lie and X, Y, and Z. But there is this organization called Stage, Stage Media. It's a fact-checking organization. I'm sure you've heard about it. It fact-checks government officials, other public officials, people in the public sphere that make comments, and then they try to verify whether those comments are true or not. And this is what they said. They said the comment that was made by Minister Twe about exporting some of the electricity we get is true. They said the Liberian Electricity Corporation exported about 4.827 kilowatts in July 2023. In June, a small portion was exported, and the corporation will be exporting for the rest of the rainy season. So we are beginning to export electricity under President Weah. So we're getting excess. That's why you see a lot of people now saying, hey, but LEC can go small, say, oh, they're all. My solar panel was poor, my generator was poor, so that's what we're beginning to have. So these are the things that people then say they won't undo. Oh, they're not doing that. He's not doing that. No investment. No investment. We got more than 12, 13 to 15 new concession agreements that your legislators signed, the opposition lawmaker. How come? Anyway. But I think that's all the time we have for today's edition of the show. I just wanted to point that out, Daniel.
Yeah. So thank you, BOAKAI. I have a few of my followers here. One is there in Germany. I think it's how possible is it to sell what you don't have? We're talking about electricity, and it's so cool. You just provided the facts. You live in Europe, my dear friend. If I wish you were here, if you came back the time you live in 12 Johnsonville, and the electricity issue you had, it's not the same today.
No.
If you went to Birmingham County, people have electricity. When to Cape Mount, they have electricity. The Tingles village in Monserrado that's never saw electricity, they have. In Marshall, they have electricity. So if that is not an improvement, then I don't know what you actually referring to. So the thing is, there's a difference. And you talk about Sierra Leone. Also, I just want to comment briefly before we close. You cannot compare the developmental pace in Sierra Leone with that of Liberia. Okay, if you want to make that comparative analysis, then you have to bring to the table what you feel they've done on their side. We're not interested. What we focus on is growing our economy, and that's what we've been doing. The economy in Liberia is stabler than that in Sierra Leone, than that in Guinea, than that in Nigeria. So we're proud of that. In our own meager ways, we're doing these things. And our people are going to come out October 10 and vote number 18 because that is the president.
We're going to close with this.
What is the United Party? Don't you think that you are answerable to the people? Does it bother you that your candidate is not campaigning? Does it bother you that the person you say Dana Cummings is on the street, Cameron Cummings is on the street, John Weir is on the street? You think that these are going to be issues that will be put to bed? No, we're not going to do that. Those issues will be dealt with, they will be discussed. And you being a distraction will also be discussed. You lie, you lie about everything, even plenty you lie about. Okay, we are aware, we have the information. All that money you collected in the Senate, the $30,000 you collected, some you admitted, some you didn't. And we know the people who cheated you in the Senate. We know even the senators who receive you on your behalf and go in the project. We know everything. We are supposed to. We are supposed to. Because everybody should know that you are the wrong guy. And I want to say this to every political party in this country, whether it is the CDC, whether it is the United Party, if any one of you receive a CPP official who has resigned from the CPP and celebrate them, now that we know what we do, since you say you are responsible, you will pay for it. So the one thing you will pay for it. You will pay for it, and United Party will regret allowing you to be used like this to say things. You're talking about self. If you become the most valuable team, you become the most, in a simple sense. It's like the Senate mayor of New York and the governor of New York. In so many senses, the Senate mayor of New York is even more powerful than the governor of New York. So you are more powerful than even a national campaign. And you go out and spew rubbish. You go out and say things that are not true.
Okay. I wanted to get
You
to
make statements.
the part again. Yeah, but I think it's done for today. That's all the time we have for today's edition of the show. That was Musa Belede talking about some of the comments he said Delon made to him in a text message. We got no way of proving that, but that's what he said. He said Delon sent him a text message, essentially saying that I am the one responsible for ensuring that those officials of yours in Nimba County left you. So you say you're pushing, opposition unity, in one breath. Then the next you're talking about I am responsible. So you're saying that in the event the Unity Party were to go to a second round of elections, they will receive no relationship or cooperation or support. That's the implication from the CPP. So we know now, for instance, that the CPP not going to support UP when just in case. We know that we're going to flog them on the first ballot. That's it. We know that we're going to win the first round of the elections. We're just looking at the magnitude and the size of that victory right now. But in the limits of their own possibilities and all of that. That's in case their desire were to come true, unfortunately. But that's all the time we have for today's edition of the show. I've been here since this morning, along with my colleague Daniel Nooks Thomas. Daniel is the Assistant Minister for Information Services at the Ministry of Information. I am BOAKAI, I am FOFANA. I am the Deputy Minister for Technical Services at the Ministry of Information, also Chairperson of the We Are Intellectual Movement, and Deputy Campaign Spokesperson of the We Are Taylor